What is the scariest trust your gut feeling you felt before and glad you did so? I noticed pain in my lower back one morning and thought I slept on it wrong or something. Throughout the day, it continued and started to feel like when you get kicked in the groin. Thought to myself, it's probably cancer. Did a self-check and didn't think I noticed anything and had my GF do the same and she wasn't sure. Called a urology office on my gut feeling and got the last appointment before Christmas break. It was cancer, but it was super early. Got an orchiectomy a few days later, then some mild chemo a few months later, and have been just fine ever since. My brother was finishing up a DRS apt and offhandedly mentioned an unexplained pain in his abdomen. Thank God he did, and thank God he had a doctor who took it seriously from the get-go because it turned out he had an aggressive testicular cancer. Got taken care of quickly and he's been in remission for 5+ years now. Your story is mine. I had started lifting again and thought I had pulled my groin deadlifting. Just minor pain, but at one point doubled over because it felt like a tugging, pulled groin. No lumps or bumps. Also randomly fucking called urology and got with any doctor that didn't require a referral. No clue why. He was great. Didn't feel anything wrong, but ordered an ultrasound to be safe. Noticed a black spot. I took antibiotics to see if infection. It wasn't. Had surgery to remove testicle. To anyone curious, you can't biopsy a testicle. Too many veins, lymph nodes or something. Turns out it was TC. Caught it so early I didn't need chemo, but my right boy was cut out. This was all right before COVID shutdowns too. What a wild, lucky ride. Next year I'll be deemed cancer-free and can move on with my life. Not me, my grandfather. He used to never wear his seatbelt. One day he's driving around with my mom and suddenly remarks, "I feel like I'm about to go through the windshield," and buckles in. Less than 30 seconds later, as they're going through an intersection, a car blows the red light going like 40 matamarf and slams into my grandpa's side of the car. In the days of MySpace, a girl I knew through high school extracurriculars posted a vague warning about an active duty sailor she met online who seemed normal but suddenly wouldn't take no for an answer. I messaged her to ask if she was okay and she told me his name, warning me not to engage with him if he tried to contact me. She then mentioned how she had been deleting some of her pics and profile details because she honestly thought he might try to show up where she worked or even at our shared after-school activity. Literally, the following week, I had shown up for said extracurricular and was in the process of setting up with a few other people. The girl was in the women's restroom down a long, dark, isolated hall far removed from the primary entryway. Out of nowhere, a guy who looked high school-ish in face and build and could fit in with us only in that sense, but who I had never seen before, showed up and began looking around as if he knew the place and knew what he was after. I was used to other kids around my age dropping by to visit us out of curiosity, but they would normally just stand around awkwardly until approached. This guy's level of focus struck me as extremely disconcerting, and I couldn't shake this feeling that I needed to tell the girl first and any nearby adult. Because I felt so weirded out, I already knew I didn't want to talk to him, so I looked at the sign-in sheet at the entryway. He was the creeper the girl told me about. As soon as I knew that he couldn't take notice of where I was headed, I booked it down the hall toward the women's restroom where I found the girl and told her what I saw and how I knew it was him. She started crying uncontrollably, and I told her to lock the door and that I was going to tell the adults in charge as soon as I could find them. I then found 2 of the adults and told them what I saw and knew of the situation, the fact that the guy in question was literally just in the other room from us, and that the girl had already locked herself in the bathroom. I was only 15. I don't know how I stayed so calm. The adults kicked right into action, escorting the guy off the premises and filing a police report. Someone I came in contact with at work semi-frequently, once every 1-2 months, gave me the creeps, but for no apparent reason. He never said anything inappropriate or touched me, and I could never figure out why. A couple years later, it came to light he was drugging young patients and videotaping raping them in his clinic, family medicine doctor. His wife found the footage and turned him in. I have so many situations like this, but this one definitely stands out. I live by the mantra, if it feels weird, it is weird. Our gut instincts are usually spot on.